Hi guys, this is Zilla, and what I'm going to do today is I'm going to demonstrate carrier play, and for that I'm going to use the American Tier 10 aircraft carrier, the USS Midway. The USS Midway was originally laid down in 1943. It was commissioned after the war in 1946 or 47. It served long time with the United States Navy. It served in Vietnam. It even served in Desert Shield and was decommissioned in 2002, and then it was made into a museum ship where it sits in San Diego to this day in 2004. Um, so it had a long and illustrious history with the United States Navy, serving some 47 years. At the time of its commissioning, it was the largest ship in the world, and it was also the first aircraft carrier that was too big to go through the Panama Canal. So we're going to take a look at carrier gameplay as it is right now. The carrier redo testing starts tomorrow. So I will be doing that as well, but we're going to take a look at what it is right now, and you can see the vast difference between the two styles of gameplay. But let's take a look at the Midway and what it's got. It has Wargaming made a mistake. What they did was they gave the Midway Tier 8 torpedo bombers, Tier 9 fighters, and Tier 10 dive bombers. The Japanese get 10, 10, 10. And when this first came out, people said, because it had Tier 10 all the way across, it actually had jets, I think. And they said, well, it's overpowered, da-da-da-da-da, whine, 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 wham, wham, wham. The United States aircraft carriers were far superior to the Japanese carriers in World War II. They were superior to anything in the world. They were the best in the world, piloted by the best pilots in the world, crewed by the best crews in the world. Period. Bar none. We dominated the Japanese in World War II, and this ship was one along that design. No, it didn't actively serve in World War II, but it served in Vietnam to show how advanced our ships were. It even served in Desert Shield and Desert Storm. So, yeah. Okay, let's gameplay balance. All right. But it put it at a disadvantage. And then over time, as the game evolved, power creep started to come up, and you started to get really big anti-aircraft ships coming into the game. So it got to the point where it became unplayable in a random, and it's still at that point today. You can do well, but yeah, odds are you're not going to. So what I'm going to do for you is I'm going to put it into a co-op battle so you can see what its potential and what it can do. And we'll see how it goes. So we'll just leave it at that, and I won't rant and rave because what they did to the United States carriers, Lexington on up, is actually kind of criminal. So we'll go into battle and see what we can do. Bye. Okay, so this is a co-op battle. I am against bots, and this battle mode, the opposite team is going to be exactly what your team is. So whatever your team has, they're going to have. So we've got a Midway, they've got a Midway. We've got a Montana, they've got a Montana. You get the picture, okay? Anti-aircraft wise, nothing really impressive except for that Neptune. The Zau's good. Iowa's got impressive AA. Montana does, but you expect that at Tier 10. The Neptune will surprise people as how good it is.
Battle starts.
So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my ship and I'm going to kind of glide across the map a little bit. I'm not under a lot of pressure here. But what I do in any battle, whether it's random or co-op, is I wait for my fighters, that's these two, to come up. Once they're up, I'm going to group them together by holding the shift key, 2 and 3. I'm going to send them to B. They will be the first planes that I allow to launch from my aircraft carrier.
Group 4, ready. Group 5,
My objective
ready.
on an aircraft carrier, your objective is to protect your fleet.
Ready.
It's not, yeah, you want to sink enemy ships, you want to do damage, but
Let's give them a hard time.
primarily it's protect your fleet.
Good luck,
And I'm
everyone.
here to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, if you're one of these people that complain about anti-aircraft support all the time, you know, why don't you play one of these? Yeah, believe it or not, my planes can't be everywhere on the map, and I've got to prioritize my protection. The Iowa can protect itself fairly well. The Lion, not so much, but he's with the Neptune. The Montana is sitting here over by himself. He's close to the Zao, but I don't know if he's going to get a lot of protection. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go 4 and then shift 5, 6, 7. I'm going to group all my planes together. I'm going to send them to this island over here just on standby. And when they group up, I'm going to nuke a target. Okay? That's what you do. So I'm going to hit 2 and 3 again. I'm going to pull them back. They're taking some anti-aircraft fire, as you can see. Group 2 is down to 6 planes. Group 3 is up to 7. I'm going to pull them back a little bit, and I expect, in co-op, they do the same thing. There's his dive bombers. Okay? So I'm going to go after his dive bombers with my fighters. And that will draw his fighters to me. All right? So we're going to go after his dive bombers. There's his fighters. His bombers are going over here. And again, this is co-op, so it doesn't really involve a lot of skill or thought on my part, but the principles are the same. Your primary objective is to stop his planes from shooting down your planes. Okay, going after those torpedo bombers. My fighter can handle that group right there. This fighter's going to go over here and go after that guy. While my other planes are grouping up. And they're going to look for a fat, juicy target like that Montana right there. Okay?
Group 7, standing by for instructions. Over. Group 7, we're under attack. Group 4, taking fire. Target destroyed.
Kind of messed up that approach on that Zao, didn't I?
Group 7.
And he's looking for me,
Group 5,
which is a mistake a lot of carrier players make. They go looking for.
awaiting instructions.
I'm going to park my fighters over that Lion for now. They go looking for the enemy carrier right away.
Taking fire.
And things can develop real quick on a map. So you got to stay on top of it. My dive bombers happen to have armor-piercing bombs. I'm going after the biggest threat, which is that Montana. The Lion, I believe my team can handle the computer-controlled Lion. All right?
We're under attack.
I'm not so sure
Taking fire.
they can handle...
We're under
What did I
attack.
just do?
We're under attack.
Our team has taken the lead.
My fighters probably need to come back to the carrier.
Approaching target. Engaging
There's a
enemy.
lot of
Approaching
anti-aircraft
target.
here.
Approaching target. Returning to ship. Returning.
Now, the thing about armor-piercing bombs is sometimes you can get a citadel out of them. I took a big chunk out of that Montana. That should help. Is somebody going to kill that Neptune? Finally, somebody killed the Neptune. Okay.
Our
And
victory
2
is
and
in
3.
sight.
I'm going to bring them back to the ship. On an aircraft carrier, you're probably going to get 1 or 2 strikes.
Returning to ship.
You're probably going to get 1 or 2 strikes out of your air groups before the game is over. In these co-ops, they end fairly quickly. So we've got our Montana, and he's going up against 2. Has he got support? Yeah, that Neptune is supporting him, but Neptune has a derpa. He's just going to peck away at it. My fighters need to get retooled and come back. You can see they're handling these fairly well. But 3 fighters and 1 fighter at tier 9 in a co-op, even in a co-op, you don't want that necessarily. So, so his carrier's up in here. That's where it's at. Co-op battle, you're you're fairly safe. I've lost a co-op battle as a carrier
Ready
before.
for takeoff. Group 4
So I'm
ready.
going to go ahead and tool up 2 and
Group
3
7
over
ready
to
for
that
takeoff.
lion.
Waypoint reached.
By the time they get there, his strike is going to be done.
Group 6 ready for takeoff.
And I'm going to group up my planes, start moving my carrier
Autopilot mode enabled.
over here. Because of this threat, I don't see them breaking through, but in case they do, I want my carrier to be able to take cover behind some of these islands. I'm going to go back to 2 and 3, and spool up my fighters. Right now, my attack planes are
Victory is
launching.
in sight.
And these guys are probably like, where's our carrier? Where's our carrier? Look, I shot down 21 with my planes. I can't be everywhere at once, and I have a finite amount of ammunition. And a lot of players do exactly what the AI is doing here. You see those torpedo planes? They're coming down toward my carrier. I'm going to press the T key, and I'm going to delete those planes.
Anti-aircraft
They
gun
they
crews
probably
on
won't
full
even
alert.
make it to my
Group
ship.
7 airborne.
Sending all your planes against the enemy carrier is a losing proposition. It's just a losing,
Torpedoes,
especially
direct
when you
front.
try to do it right off the bat. He got a launch off.
Group 4 standing
I'm
by
too
for
big.
instructions. Over.
I'm too heavily armored to take a lot of damage. He just launched a spread of 5 torpedoes
Maintaining
on
present
me.
course.
I took 1.
Group
Look at my
5
ship's health.
standing by for instructions. Over.
You know, it's
Group
going to take a
6
lot more
standing
than
by
that,
for
and all of his
instructions.
torpedo
Over.
planes are gone. No, they're all dead, and he's the only one
Group
left.
7
So
standing by
what
for
I'm going to do is I'm going to
instructions.
take my 4, 5, 6, 7, group them all together, come out here and nail the Midway. It'll probably be dead by the time I get there. 2 and 3, and this is the way, you know, sometimes you get into a random battle, sometimes it goes the same way. I'm going to post my fighters up here. It's too late. It takes a long time to cycle through the planes and get them out into the battle and whatnot, so not good. 46,000 damage is, that's 1 strike. But look, 6 torpedo hits, 9 bomb hits, shot down 26 of his planes. You know, you don't get a lot for a co-op battle, but that's the way it is right now. It's kind of an RTS type of gameplay. Dominated in the air. He took some of mine down, but yeah, you look at this is your job. Stop his planes. I didn't do that great of a job at it, but, you know, did I make money? Yeah, I made 8,000. You're not going to make a fortune with this. You're just not. Not on co-op. And that the current state of the game, the way it is now in the game with the American carriers, it's not really worth it running at tier 10. It's just not. So, okay, well, I'm going to let you go. But the U.S. Midway is a great carrier. The problem is Wargaming broke it. Hopefully with the retool, and we're going to be testing it again tomorrow. Hopefully, and I'll have videos up on that. Hopefully it'll get better. But that's where it's at right now. So you have a frame of reference. When you see the new carrier play, you'll be able to look at this and say, I see what's different now. So you guys take care. Until next time, God bless you, and be good to each other, and have a great day. Bye.